I'm John.
I'm Sierra.
And this is And They Were Readers.
I don't know if y'all think that Spotify Wrapped this year was a little bit trash, but it was so funny to me how long it took to get to every point that they were trying to make.
It did take a while.
And we didn't have all of the normal stats. I want to know my genres.
Oh yeah,
Where
we
were
didn't know
those?
genres. Last year they gave us the place in the United States that listened to our type of music. You remember
that's
that?
really cool.
It was
I don't remember that.
It was a small town in Wisconsin, and it was you'd fit in there. It's okay.
It's okay. Well, this year they did a couple of things. One, they always tell you your top artist. So
yes.
if you have Spotify, and I think Apple Music does it too, you'll be able to see your top artist of the year, the top five, and then the top five songs you've listened to for the year.
Yep.
And then this year they did something where they gave you at different points in the year, what your vibe was that you were listening to.
Yeah.
So it was in February, this is how you were. And then in May. Okay, and so we have those names, and they're very intriguing. They're very descriptive, but also not.
Yeah.
They're very descriptive, but not descriptive.
They're descriptive, but in a way that it's somebody just found a bunch of words and threw them together, and they kind of made sense.
Here are adjectives and nouns, and let's put them together because that's what popular culture is talking about right now.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But they were fun. So what we're going to do is give recommendations of books based upon those vibes and our top artists of the year.
Yeah.
So let's get to it.
Yeah. You want to go first? Do vibes first and then artists?
Okay, so we'll share our vibes. This one, for me, my top vibe, or my first vibe, is so fun. Because it says it's coastal grandmother, funky groove, retro pop.
Whoa. Coastal grandmother, funky groove, retro pop.
Okay, so...
That's what I'm saying it was just they threw words at the wall, and they're and that one, and that one, and ooh, and grandmother.
But let me be so real right now.
That's you?
Mm-hmm. So it's actually even... my grandmother. So if you look at the video 2 videos ago, I was wearing a jacket that someone commented, oh, this is so 90s. I love your jacket, guys.
Oh, it's your grandmother's.
It literally is my grandmother's, and it is a bright purple jacket, and I have 4 others in my closet that are hers.
Yeah.
And she is indeed a coastal grandmother. She lives on an island.
Yeah, which I guess is all coast.
So
and you're wearing this cardigan right now, too, and it's
I'm very grandma.
Yeah.
But
funky groove retro pop.
Right. And that, to me, I was that's crazy, and also somehow the most accurate out of all the other vibes that were given to me.
Wow.
Okay, so the first recommendation I have based upon that vibe is a book that my grandmother actually did really enjoy reading, so that's why I'm going to recommend it.
That's so cute.
And that's A Thousand Splendid Suns by Kahan and Lo.
Oh.
This is the book that was passed around a vacation one time, when I was 10, so I didn't read it. But my dad did, and he was devastated by it, and that's why he stopped reading for 10 years.
That's fair.
I remember my grandmother reading this and loving it, and so she likes books in that world, and so I thought that was perfect because we were all on a beach vacation together.
Has she read Kite Runner?
I think so. She read a lot of things back then. She used to be a really big reader.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's in the genes.
It's in the genes. Okay, and then the second recommendation that I had that was felt very coastal grandmother to me was... Oh, I'm gonna make a mess. Okay, and that's The Waves by Virginia Woolf. I feel that's very coastal grandmother.
Yeah.
It's not a beach read, because I haven't read one of those yet, but I'm...
A beach read?
Yeah. I haven't read I read Part of Your World, but that's
not beachy.
Yeah,
that's more mountainy.
Yeah. So this isn't even like about the ocean, but it just gives like, look at the cover. Does it not give you coastal grandmother? Just put a set of pearls on this and she's good to go. This book is really about friendship and following a group of friends over time. So it begins with 6 children, 3 boys and 3 girls, playing in a garden by the sea, and then we watch them grow up and like their interactions as they like enter their 20s kind of thing.
So my March apparently was theatrical actor Broadway. Which,
Let's
like,
go!
Those are just 3 words that go together. Like, yours is a lot more fun. Like, grandma, funky, pop. Mine is theatrical actor Broadway.
It's because it was like, this needs to be your new like title, you know? You're a Broadway boy now. You're
guess.
an actor boy now. You're a theatrical. Jazz hands.
I guess. It's like, this guy listens to show tunes, theatrical actor,
No,
Broadway.
you're so right.
Yeah.
Like, they just put 3 words that were, like, close together. Yeah.
The show tunes that I listened to the most, Hamilton, number 1, for sure. Hadestown, I just got into because she recommended it to me, and I had a slow day at work, and I was like, let me listen to the whole album. Fell in love.
So happy.
Tick, Tick, Boom, Wicked now, because the movie was crazy.
Yeah, because you had never seen the musical. And
I had. But I was a little baby boy.
And I do not count that because I have no recollection of what it was about.
No. So I recommended Martyr by Kaveh Akbar.
Tell me more.
Because Martyr, when I was thinking about a book I read that could be like a play, that's what I thought of. Not necessarily a musical. I don't think it should be a musical.
Okay.
I think it should be just a normal play with words. And the theme of death and death meaning something is very popular in almost all of these plays, like Dear Evan Hansen, Hamilton, Hadestown.
You're right.
Yeah. So that's where that came from.
Okay, so the next one is, I guess in May I was really feeling myself. So Bougie Catwalk Rap is a category for me, which I think is like perfect. It was like inspired by Doja Cat and Nicki Minaj, like that kind of energy, you know?
Heard.
So the 2 that I recommend. Okay, so the first one is Unmasking AI by Joy Buolamwini. She, like, not single-handedly, but was one of the first Black women to address the inequities in AI as a PhD student. And I just think that's really cool, and that gives me boss energy, and I would love to meet her and be bougie and cool with her.
Nice.
So that's one recommendation. It's nonfiction. And then the other one is Girl, Woman, Other by Bernadine Evaristo. This one, it doesn't give as much of like rap energy, but I haven't read a book that gives me rap energy, so I had to choose like one that made me feel empowered, and that was this. So this is multiple different stories of women, particularly Black women and people, and looking at their stories and how they intertwine.
Nice.
Yeah.
My May was Surf Crush Beach Indie.
They really did throw words
That's
together.
what I'm saying.
Mine are better.
Yours are so much better. I think my last one is really fun, but we'll get there.
Yeah.
Anyway, Surf Crush Beach Indie. You following?
No.
Okay. Exactly.
Yeah, that's
Neither
really
am I.
bad.
It was inspired by the artist.
Surf and beach. Choose one.
Yeah, and crush? Is it like I have a crush on someone? I'm crushing.
Do you have a crush?
I didn't in May, and I don't now. Anyway, the book that I have that's inspired by this, that matches the vibe, is Malibu Rising by Taylor Jenkins Reid.
Right.
Yeah.
Surf
Crush Beach Indie. Yeah. If you don't know what Malibu Rising is, it's about a family of surfers in Malibu. And it's kind of centered around one party. So the chapters are split up in like time slots, of the day. So it all happens in the span of like one day or a day and a half, and it'll be like 3 p.m. and then this is like what's going on, all the plot points. Also jumping back into the past so you get context. All that good vibe. And then the party happens, and I'm like, Surf Crush Beach Indie.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
Yeah.
Malibu Rising.
You're on the beach, you're surfing, there's like crushing going on. People are like, there's love all over the place, and the loss of it, all this stuff.
Okay, our last ones, we're going to share, I think, around the same time.
We are? Oh, yeah.
So
okay.
Mine is Pink Pilates Princess Roller Skating Pop.
And mine is Pink Pilates Princess Strut Pop.
Yeah, so I'm roller skating pop.
And I'm strut pop.
Which, honestly, I can't stand in this pair of roller skates to save my life.
Well, neither can I.
Yeah, we're really bad at roller skating, so I don't know how I got that. But, I love the energy it gives. Who is this inspired by for you?
For me, it's Doja Cat, Billie Eilish, and Charlie XCX.
For me, it's Doja Cat, Billie Eilish, and Beyonce. If you know,
I think
Renaissance, let's go.
The or either the Billie or the Charlie should have been replaced by Chaperone.
Because that's 100%.
Yeah.
1,000%.
That's what I thought was going to happen.
You listened to Charlie for like 2 weeks before
the concert.
Yeah.
Anyway, what are the books you have for that one?
Ooh, I have. Okay. They're like low key unhinged artists. You know, like just like as artists, they're kind of like just they do whatever they want and say whatever they want kind of energy. So I have The Vegetarian by Han Kang because I think that is. Do I have it over there?
You do.
Oh, I do.
It's just coverless.
So I have The Vegetarian by Han Kang. Because this was such a fun book that did whatever it wanted and talked about like women's rights essentially, and I think that's a very common theme amongst some of these people on my list. And then I have Cleopatra and Frankenstein by Coco Mellors.
Yeah. Yep, we knew that was gonna happen. It was only a matter of
time. Because this gives me sad girl hours, and I feel like Billie gives me sad girl hours a little bit.
She does have some sad girl hours. Yeah.
I think that's why I chose this one. I have one more.
Oh wow.
The Book of Goose was about two girls who became friends in their story, and like I just feel like this gives Pink Princess. I can't even say it. Pink Pilates Princess Roller Skating Pop, but not the pop. Make it sad. What was yours?
Mine was the Tenant.
Yes, I was gonna choose this, but then I'm so glad you did.
Okay. Let me tell them.
Okay.
The Tenant of Wildfell Hall, because it is giving like confident, like it's giving Brat Summer.
Yeah,
honestly.
That's true. That's true.
So that's kind of more inspired by Charlie and Doja. And I mean Billie for sure. Billie more I feel like embodies the main character.
Yeah.
And Charlie and Doja are like the environment, the atmosphere.
Yeah, the vibe.
And then the next one, this is kind of like a cop out, is Happy Place, but that's based entirely on the Pink Princess Pilates strut pop. Like Happy Place is a bright pink book.
It is. Indeed.
It's for the girls. It's like that's Emily Henry. You know the vibes. Yeah. I
will say, I feel like if you like Doja Cat and classic literature, The Tenet of Wildfell Hall is for you.
Oh yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah. All right, now
our top artists
of the year.
Yeah.
So coming in at number 5 for me is an artist named Pamplemousse. This is an artist who, okay, if you know Good Mythical Morning, they did their theme song. Okay, that's context. They sing in English and they also sing in French, and I've been listening to their French album like nonstop this past few months. And so for that, I'm going to recommend. She fell.
The one that fell. Yeah. Technical difficulties.
Exteriors by Annie Ernaux. Most of the time when I'm listening to a French album, I'm like, I never know how to say this word. Thank you. Because I say contemplative, but that's not right.
Apparently not. I looked it up the other day because I was like, it should be able to be both. And I do think English is a lot of times choose your own adventure, but Google spit out contemplative.
So this book is just like musings on happenings in France, essentially.
Oh,
yeah.
That makes sense.
This makes sense for it. Yep.
Is Annie Ernaux French?
I think so.
Okay. So my number 5 is Loewe?
We're trying.
I try so hard to say the name right every time, and I say it differently every single time.
They speak a different language in Iceland.
Yeah. But if you don't know her, it's spelled Laufey. A lot of people will say like Laufey or something like that. But
and she's like has reported that she doesn't care how people say because how would you know how it's pronounced in
Icelandic? Because some of those sounds just don't exist in our
They really
language.
Don't. That's why they were like translated to an F, but it's like Loewe.
Yeah.
But we can't. We're trying.
The book that I recommended, I would recommend to Loewe is Sorrow and Bliss. Are
we recommending these two our favorite artists?
Or just like book based on
their
energy. Either one.
Yeah,
I think either one.
Sorrow and Bliss is
Sorrow and Bliss. I think she...
By Meg Mason.
Thank you. I knew it was 2 M's. Yeah. I think her music goes back and forth between Sorrow and Bliss. Like she has a very good, deep, jazzy voice, and a lot of the songs that she writes, like do 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 do, or like, you know.
All right, coming in at number 4 for me is Doja Cat. A big surprise to me, not gonna lie. But her
I feel like that's not that surprising. I don't know why. I felt the need to do that.
So I have 2 answers for this. One is because it's like kind of unhinged, and I feel like Doja Cat's a little unhinged.
Oh yeah.
Dial A for Aunties by Jessie Q Sutanto. It is a rom-com where I don't think this is spoiling anything because it's like in the first few pages where this girl goes on a date and skip ahead if you don't want to spoil it. He like makes a move and she says no, and like he doesn't take no, and she's driving, and they end up in a car accident and he dies. And she doesn't know what to do. So she goes home and she tells her aunties.
Okay.
And the aunties help her figure it all out. And it's like this, it talks about culture and like family, and it's a crazy book, but it's so fun.
You read this?
Yeah. It was so fun. It was like a PG-13 type of book.
Yeah.
Like I felt like I was watching a fun rom-com movie from Netflix.
Of course.
If that makes sense.
Nice.
And that is sometimes what Doja is to me, except for she's rated R.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, I'll leave it at that for that one.
Okay, ¿dónde estamos? Okay, my number 4 artist, my artist that I listen, what? How do you say that?
Oh. The artist?
My 4th top artist is...
Oh, yeah.
Thanks.
You have to keep all that in now.
Is Noah Kahan. Yeah.
We went to that concert this year.
Was that this year?
I don't know.
I think it was last year.
Really?
Yeah.
It was last year.
I know my time.
October.
Yeah. The book I recommend to Noah Kahan is The Road by Cormac McCarthy.
Oh, that makes so much sense.
Yeah, thank you.
Or even...
Yeah? Or even...
What's the name of that
Do you want to
book?
tell them when you spit on me the other day?
Why would you expose me like that?
We were at a concert.
I'm so sorry. I apologize.
No, I just think it's a funny story. I wiped you down is a crazy thing to say.
I mean, like, you know what I mean?
We were at a concert, and it was like the time between the opener and the main act. I don't know how to talk. And I had come back from the bathroom, and I think Sierra also did.
No.
I don't know what happened. But for some reason, I was talking about, I was explaining that Sierra missed a part of the show. And then as I was saying it, I was like, wow, that's the first time I've ever said Sierra missed before.
Like
the soda. And once her brain caught up to what was happening, she just involuntarily
had like a real
sprayed me.
Like I was drinking something and I never thought about it either. And then you said it and I laughed involuntarily and he was so close to me.
I was so close. I was in the splash zone.
I'm so sorry. I was so sad.
Anyway.
And then Sierra missed.
Sierra missed.
Yeah. Also, but Sierra Mist doesn't exist anymore. It's Starry now.
Starry.
No one will know how to spell my name. I'm so sorry. Why would you bring that up?
Because I laughed in a similar way, and I was afraid. I was like, oh, maybe I...
I deserve it.
But I didn't. Okay, you go. Number 3.
My phone fell in the middle of that.
Yeah, there's a lot happening just
I
now.
laughed so much.
Yeah.
But I didn't spit. Okay, my number 3 is Love. Okay, so Love has very lyrical writing.
Yeah.
She does some covers of like classic jazz music.
Yeah, and Christmas music.
As you mentioned
Tis
earlier.
the season.
So I wanted to choose something lyrical. So I chose Open Water by Caleb Azuma Nelson because that to me feels like poetry.
I see what you did there.
As writing. And a lot of her music I'll listen to while I'm reading lyrical writing. So it felt like a good pairing. So yeah, Open Water by Caleb Azuma Nelson.
Nice. My number 3 is Billie Eilish. Yeah. So I chose Alone with You in the Ether by Aubrey Blake. I think the times that Billie chooses to talk about love is always very nuanced and complex. And that's what I feel about Alone with You in the Ether. It is a love story, but not your average love story. Like, if you ask me about romance books, like Part of Your World and Alone with You in the Ether are 2 very different categories of love stories, right?
Yeah.
And Billie writes the Alone with You in the Ether version of a love song.
Oh, I like that. I don't listen to lyrics like at all of hers, to be honest. Like I don't know what she's saying.
That's crazy to me.
I agree. And I listen to the music. Yeah. I listen to Billie mostly because of her vocal choices and the production
from Phineas.
Correct.
Yeah.
So I never would have made that connection. Number 2 for me. Okay, my top 2 artists you might even know because they are true to the game we played earlier this year.
Oh, yeah.
So we played a game where we were guessing like each other's favorite things about each other. And I said these were my top 2 artists, and in fact this year they were, which is fun to know oneself, you know?
Yeah.
So number 2 is Sammy Ray and the Friends.
Yeah.
So think jazzy vibes, but fun and upbeat and poppy, but not pop, you know? But like very heavy on the jazz. So
Yeah.
I chose Electra by Jennifer Saint.
Oh, you
I
read
think yeah, I did.
Wow.
Yeah, so it gives
Sorry.
like 3 women's perspectives
Yes.
on that story. That story, I don't know what it is. There's like a king that's there that's killed. Don't know anything.
I get them
about
all
Greek
mixed
mythology.
up. Is it the Battle of Troy? No.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, I think so. So yeah, I chose this because I feel like even though Electra's sad, it was very like engaging and like poppy in a way. Like it was very like fun. So I think that's one of the reasons. And then All About Love by Bell Hooks gives me big Sammy Ray and the Friends vibes.
Interesting.
So that's a nonfiction by Bell Hooks. It's like a feminist discussion around love. So she created a feminist theory called From Margin to Center, discussing intersectional feminism back in the 80s, I believe. And so this book is focused on just the concept of love in general, in like a secular yet like feminist sense. And I think Sammy Ray really like embraces friendship and love and like care for one another, oftentimes from a feminist lens. So I really enjoy that about their music, and also All About Love by Bell Hooks.
Nice. Okay. If you remember the same video, my top artist, he was my top artist last year. He got bumped to number 2 this year. Nice. Is Dominic Fike. And the book that I recommended is Albert Camus' The Stranger.
Really?
Yeah.
I haven't read it yet. That's so fun.
I know. You have to read it. So Dominic Fike, he grew up in Florida. He's from Naples. He had like just a tough background, right? But I know he cares a lot about people in the prison system. And The Stranger kind of deals with that in a very like broad sense, I guess. And I think the way that he writes his music, again, big lyric guy, matches with the vibe of what Albert Camus is trying to talk about in The Stranger.
Interesting.
I think Dominic Fike could read it and write a phenomenal song based off of it.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. I like that. I like that take.
I love that. Yeah.
I want to. That kind of reminds me of like Hosier, like how he reads and like.
I was hoping I had Hosier on my list because I had books for that man. Number 1.
Billie Eilish is number 1 for me. Are we surprised? The people in my life aren't. I think that the production on Billie Eilish's music is brilliant. I've been listening to her for 10 years. Really, I've always enjoyed her music. I chose Pure Color by Sheila Heti for Billie Eilish.
Okay.
I think this book is just a fun, whimsical, contemplative read. I think that's like, I don't know, it's just it just reminds me of her. Like if I were to like read this book, I'd be like singing Billie in the back of my head kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then the other one is is that true? Yeah, I actually agree with that. I need to grab it off the shelf.
So I hope you agree with it.
All the Lovers of the Night by Mia
That's
Kawakami.
crazy.
What?
Sorry for yelling. I scrolled past that one and I almost put that as my option for Billie.
Really?
And then I switched and I was like, maybe a little through the ether because I saw it next. I was like, I like the love angle, but that was my original thought.
Yeah, I think All the Lovers in the Night is Billie.
Yeah.
Like the way it's written is very realistic, and it plays with different motifs, and it like engages with literature in unique ways.
That's crazy.
It's okay. Yeah. We're like friends.
Yeah,
Like we have similar opinions on something.
And we like consume the same media a lot, so.
And I think there's a scene in All the Lovers in the Night where she's drunk for like a whole chapter. And she's like living her life in society like drunk.
But drunk, yeah.
And the way you feel in that chapter is like unsettled and uncomfortable and like nauseous a little bit. Yeah. Which is how you feel like and I think Billie does the same thing with her music.
Yeah. Very immersive.
Immersive
writing.
Yes. So Wow. So cute. Okay, what's your last one?
My number 1, so Sammy Ray and the Friends usurped Dominic Fike this year.
Which is crazy to me.
Yeah. We saw them live this year. That was this year.
Yeah.
So the book that I have for them is Lessons in Chemistry.
I agree.
Yeah.
I almost chose that for Sammy as well.
Yeah. I think because of how like bright and poppy the cover is, first of all. But then like the woman lead and she's in science. Very like they have a song called Jackie Onassis and that's what made me think of immediately.
I love Jackie Onassis.
Yeah, give it a listen. And yeah, it made me think of them. So Sammy Ray and the Friends, if you don't know, they're like she already explained it, jazzy band. Sammy Ray is the lead singer, and she just has a great vibe. She's so cool. We saw them live. I cried. I'll admit it.
I also cried.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually wept.
No, yeah. Let us know who some of your top artists are and what Spotify gave you for these weird vibes.
Yeah.
Pink Pilates Princess
I want to
Strut
see
Pop.
all the vibes in
the chat. I really do, because I want to know what other words they had out there.
Truly.
Yeah, and let us know. And then let us know about, let us know if you relate to any of these books or if we could have done better, honestly.
I wonder if Storygraph is going to do their Wrapped again this year.
Did they do it last year? Missed that.
Okay.
Anyway,
Right.
thanks for watching. We'll catch you in the next one.
Bye.
See ya.
What's your line?
Bye.